Restrooms become, you know, a chaotic mess covered in blood and makeup and everything that you can possibly imagine.
Well, fake blood and makeup, not a pretty combination for downtown businesses who say they'd rather not see ZombiCon come back to the Fort Myers River District. Their calls to end the downtown tradition coming on the heels of a deadly shooting at the annual event 3 weeks ago. 4 in Your Corner's Warren Wright explaining who's against the event, even if the shooting hadn't happened. Warren.
Well, Amy, even before the shooting, many downtown store owners and hotel operators said ZombiCon had become just too big in recent years. Blame it for everything from shoplifting to destroyed furniture. But they also say it wasn't always that way. It all started with a movie, the 1985 cult classic Day of the Dead, shot in Fort Myers. You can see some of the River District's landmark buildings in the film. Fast forward 40 years, and ZombiCon was started to celebrate the city's cinematic heritage.
ZombiCon, when it first started, was wonderful as a small, more intimate group.
But they say over the years, that intimacy morphed into madness.
When it got to be 20,000 people, you can't control that.
Or control the behavior that turned truly scary.
Restrooms become, you know, a chaotic mess covered in blood and makeup and everything that you can possibly imagine.
Many shop owners say the shoplifting is so bad, they've ended up closing early to avoid merchandise getting stolen or damaged.
It brought in groups that were just, I call, undesirable. And they were trouble.
And the problem isn't just with storefront properties downtown. Surrounding hotel operators have told me some of their zombie clients have proven to be quite destructive. With all the fake blood, they've had to discard lobby furniture, throw away comforters, and even repaint walls. And that has some business leaders wondering if the River District is the right setting for ZombiCon. Has ZombiCon outgrown downtown Fort Myers?
I would say probably. I do think it'd probably be a better idea to have it somewhere else where it's a little better controlled. But up until this point, it just has unfortunately outgrown us in the downtown area.
Now, many business leaders say they'd like to see the festival move to a secure area with controlled entrance and exits. Having people roam through the streets of the historic district, like what was shown in the cult classic movie, is no longer a viable option, according to them. Warren Wright, Fox 4. In Your Corner.
All right, thank you, Warren. And we should mention the search is continuing for the shooter in the ZombiCon case from 3 weeks ago. He's reportedly a white guy, possibly Hispanic, in his late teens or early 20s. He was wearing a black T-shirt that night and a black and red ball cap, and he was firing a black semi-automatic handgun. If you know anything, you could earn a $35,000 reward when you call authorities. Meanwhile, as we reported, the family of 20-year-old Tyrell Taylor, who was shot and killed at ZombiCon this year, has now filed a $5 million wrongful death lawsuit against the organizer of ZombiCon and its security firm. We're hearing from many of you about that during the second half hour of this newscast. In the meantime, you can join the conversation. Do you think downtown Fort Myers should continue to host ZombiCon in light of this year's tragedy and some of the complaints you heard from business owners in Warren's report? 239-206-FOX4, news at Fox 4 Now.